welcome to the official groundbreaking ceremony for Winfield at the Ranch. My name is Dale Phillips, and I am with Stellar Residential. I'm the managing partner for the project. It's also my responsibility to ensure that this agenda flows on time. As you can see, it's very detailed and robust with introductions and acknowledgments and speakers. And speakers, may I have your attention, please? Please pay attention to keeping a very timely and concise message, or this will come out. Thank you very much. Before I begin mentioning names, I would just like to, let's just jump right into that. And thank you. Great. I'd like to thank and welcome Mayor Mengarelli. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Ott. Or strike two. Okay.
Now she gets the whip.
So why don't we go ahead and work from the script and memory? That might be so much better. Mayor Pro Tem Billy Orth, thank you. Boy, it's toasty out here. Councilman Phil Good?
That's easy.
Yes. We also would like to welcome our county officials, the county supervisor, Jack Smith. Thank you, Jack. And I'd like to say on behalf of the partnership, we appreciate all your support and your attendance in this project. Thank you. An acknowledgement to the Chamber of Commerce and their welcoming and friendly assistance in pulling off this event. You've made it very easy, and thank you so much for assisting in that. It hasn't been a simple task leveling this dirt and making sure you have a perfect view the whole time. So before I bring up our first speaker, I just want to say that I think what you're going to learn and hear today is a consistent theme between the partnerships and how we all acknowledge our responsibility in enhancing this piece of real estate for our neighbors, for the community of Prescott, and as everyone comes up and gets a chance to speak, you're going to see that we assembled a very comprehensive list of designers and architects and managers, and I'm certain that you're going to be proud of this development. So I can't wait to hear your thoughts. As we move through the agenda and the speakers come up and down, once we're finalized, we're going to do a little quick photograph, and then hopefully you'll stick around long enough to maybe have a bite to eat. On that note, let's get started. And to begin with, Jack Smith, will you please start us off? Thank you.
All right.
No whip.
No whip. All right, to keep it short, I just want to say thank you.
There's seats available in front. There's seats available in front. Please sit up.
Well, I get to do several of these lately because of the amount of construction that we've got going on in the areas. But looking at a process that's in place here to grade this hillside, and then to actually, when you think about it, if you were to live here and you were to face this way, imagine drinking your coffee and eating your Danish on your patio and looking out that window, or just enjoying the Prescott area this close to the top of the hill. You can go that way to Prescott Valley, depending on what you needed or wanted to do. On behalf of the Yavapai County Board of Supervisors, we welcome this project here. We welcome you to the area and wish you much success to this and other ventures, hopefully, that will continue in this area as you progress in this and many more. So on behalf of the county, I just want to say thank you, and thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. We're already ahead of schedule.
County leads the way.
Well, the mayor might take a little bit more time. Who knows? Mayor, will you please come forward? Thank you. You're a fine mayor here.
Thank you. Well, on behalf of the City Council, it's a real privilege to be here and speak on their behalf. And when I think about this kind of development and really Jim Lee and the Lee family, there's two words that come to mind: quality and legacy. And Jim, you and Linda and all that you've done for our city, I could be here a lot longer than they would allow me to be. Just to talk about all the things that you've done in our city, the way you've invested in our city and our community. I was just at Embry-Riddle yesterday, and the beautiful planetarium. We were able to go in and see a beautiful show, one of many places that you've invested. And on behalf of the city, I want to say thank you to you and Linda for what a legacy you're leaving behind. We are so grateful for all that you've given us. And quality. When we look around, look at all the many things that Jim's finger has touched here in the Lee family. What would we do without Costco? I don't know where my wife would shop. And then this beautiful touch mark over here in the Finn. And on the list goes as we look out here. Thank you so much for what you've done for our city and providing these kinds of services for our citizens. And so we are deeply grateful for you, for being a pioneer, and for what you've done in terms of bringing quality development, because I know this will be a quality development because you've been a part of it. And just the legacy you're leaving behind. Those are the two things that come to mind. I want to say thank you for what you've done for the city. And on behalf of the city, I'd like to present this to Winfield at the ranch in recognition of your groundbreaking. The City of Prescott officials declare today Winfield at the Ranch Day. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for that genuine and warm welcome. We appreciate it very much. Next speaking is your President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, Sherry Henney.
Thank you, Dale, and thank you, Mayor, for those wonderful remarks. And to the partners, on behalf of our Board of Directors, staff, ambassadors, and 900 business members, we welcome you to Prescott. How about that, huh? And I want to let you know that the Chamber's here for you. We have the official state-designated visitor center, and 80% of the folks that visit us are looking to move and relocate here. So we look forward to your marketing material in our center so that we can help give our future residents another option. So we just want to thank you again for the investment, and we'll be back for the ribbon cutting. We look forward to that as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. And before we transition to some of the development partners, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that our business partners showed up today, our friends from Touchmark, our friends from Gripstone, Chase Bank, Forest Villas. Am I missing anyone? We invited everybody. So you guys, we're going to do everything we can to enhance your neighborhood. We're going to bring a lot of wallets, okay? It's going to be good for everyone. So please, on that note, I'd like to introduce a longtime friend and the development partner, Jerry Clark of Clark Whalen. Jerry's experience in developing multifamily goes further back than calendars, so we can't even begin to put dates on it. But it doesn't take long if you ever chose to research Jerry, he's always been associated with quality and a very accountable, responsible developer. The decisions that have been made that are going into this site, they belong to Jerry and his team, and so we know it's going to be a phenomenal development, Jerry.
Well, Dale, thank you so much, and thanks to everybody for coming today. I appreciate the the crowd. Actually, this is fabulous, and sorry about the wind. I mean, anyway, but I'm going to touch back. The mayor did such a great job of complimenting the Lees and their legacy for such a long time. And just on a personal note, I am so grateful to them as well. And we go back a few years to way before he started this development here and his kids and that. So that acquaintanceship has stayed, and we've communicated all these years. And we've been coming up here, and we've been always going to do something, always going to do something. And finally we did, and thanks to them and offering this wonderful location, and their skill and their partnership is invaluable to our team, and we're grateful. So with that, I just want to thank everybody for attending. I will mention the team that did the design and the local engineers that participated, particularly on the civil side. And I can't recall a city that was so professional and so affable to work with. So my hat's off to this city of Prescott. It's been, without exception, just people that can work. If there was an issue, we hardly knew about it because it was addressed and taken care of just, like I said, in a very professional manner. Greatly appreciated. Thank you all for being here. Stick around and have a little bite to eat.
Thank you, Jerry. So a lot of times people get nervous when you hand them the microphone, but when you know what Jerry does as a hobby, he races cars at 180 miles an hour. So we probably didn't even get his heart rate above 58, I'm sure. So with that, the visionary here is now going to be introduced to you. The gentleman, his name is Tanner Bickelhop. I'm proud to say I'm his partner, and I can't wait to introduce to you him. Tanner, please join us. Thank you.
Wow, we're here. Thank you so much for coming, Mayor, Councilman, Chamber, family, friends. We have been talking and thinking about this day for a really, really long time. My name's Tanner. I'm the CEO and founder of the company called TanBic out of Scottsdale, Arizona. We're an acquisition and development company. And a little over 2 years ago, I received a call from Jerry Clark, who's a dear friend and a partner in a lot of deals we do. And he says, hey, I have this lifelong friend who has a development site up in Prescott, Arizona. Jerry, I'm not interested. He lost me on a development site, and this part where we were a little nervous about where we were going in part of the cycle. And Jerry just said, hey, Tanner, can you come up and just take a look? And so any opportunity to spend a couple hours in the car with Jerry, I would certainly do, even though I think it only took us an hour and 10 minutes. So he drove me over to Mr. Lee's office, where I got to meet Mr. Lee and Scott Lee. And we hopped in Jim's truck, and we came right over here to the road, and we bahaed right up the side of this mountain. And the only thing I'm certain of is that there was never 4 tires on the ground. But once we got the truck turned around, and we hopped out of the truck, and we looked at this, I knew that we were going to do a development, really at that moment. In multifamily, you're always looking for sites where you can see where perhaps your future tenants might live, or where they might work, and where they might play. But then when you add a backdrop such as this, I'm fairly confident that a site like this perhaps may not exist in this territory for certain, but really anywhere. And so we started that venture almost 18 months ago. And there was multiple times where I wasn't sure if the venture was going to come through. But we have such a remarkable team. Like, everybody who's on the team, I'm so proud of. I'm proud to know them. Their hearts are right. They're just good people, and just have such a can-do attitude. And the first person I'd like to thank is Mr. Ron Ronk, who's our superintendent. Ron, you are just a good man. Ron has worked on the local airport. I think it's like 15 miles of roads behind us. That's him. Countless other city projects. One of the things I'm most proud of is the type of work that Ron does is to move this amount of dirt I think it's like 29,000 cubic yards, is kind of daunting, and it can blow up a project like this financially. Ron did not only just find where to put the dirt, but I'm very pleased to say he's taking the dirt and he's putting it right behind the mall, and he's building a road. There's a road being built that's connecting the ranch into Prescott. And so not only just moving the dirt, but we're being very responsible in how we're doing it, and I'm very proud of that. So thank you. Happy to have you on the team. Mr. Lee and Scott Lee, everyone here knows, I just want to say thank you for actually, as much as we selected you, I know that you selected us. And you stuck with us the whole time. And it is absolutely remarkable. And as I learn more about Prescott and the businesses that are here, it's apparent there's always one common equation, and that's you. And so it's an absolute honor that you selected us for this beautiful site. Thank you. We won't let you down. Jerry, you're a dear friend and a pal. This has been so much fun. I tell you all the time how grateful I am for you, the quality of work. Jerry has been responsible for building over 20,000 apartment units in the Valley, and they're all still standing. But thank you. This is going to be fun. I often say the hardest job in development is being married to a developer. Honey, thank you for always being constant and steady. Graham and Palmer, I hope 20 years from now you all drive by this, you look up on the hill, and you're proud of the community in which it is. To the team, Dale, Jay, RJ, Jenny Ray, one of the things, as you can tell, I'm a very proud guy, but one of the things I'm most proud of is the people that are going to benefit most from this is the level of service that our tenants are going to receive. Jay and Dale have overseen 60 lease-ups in the Valley. There's no one that has done it better, like simply no one. And on our on-site team, and Jenny Ray, I was wondering when I got up here, if I didn't have you, I wonder where everybody would be standing. It would have been bad. Yes. Yes. And Todd, thank you for your trust and your partnership. Brent and Christina, thank you for your trust and your partnership. When I left this and I thought we're going to do a development here, I went back to town and I made one phone call. And I called Mr. Brent Yates. And that's because he's always honest, and he's been a partner that always we relate to, both in philosophy and strategy, but really when it comes down to just the gut feeling, there's a high degree of trust. So I called him and I said, hey, I'm thinking about this development. It's in Prescott. Can you come take a look? He came up with his son. And I guess I was fully expecting him to say, like, clever idea, maybe talk me out of it. So he came up, he looked, and Brent's been wildly successful in many businesses, and he should definitely play poker because he left that day and I wasn't sure if he liked it. But he said, call me in 2 days and we'll talk about it. So I called you in 2 days, and the very first thing you said on the phone is, I'm in. And we have never looked back. We've approached this as a can-do, how do we do it, which is the same way we'll approach it all the way through. So thank you for being a mentor, for being a friend, and for being a partner. This is going to be amazing. And to kind of commence this day, I wanted to get you something. And so the site we're standing on is actually Bullwhacker Ranch. And so I thought it was only fitting that you have a bull whip. And actually, Brent would like to say something.
Yeah, let's go. Wow, thank you. So about an hour ago, I looked at this list and I was last on the list. And I said to Tanner, I want to go first. I'm ready to talk. And here I am. But thank you for your combined enthusiasm today. Everybody was smiling. It just doesn't get any better. Right? But your energy is like amazing. So we're as excited, I'm sure, as you are, but your words exactly. This town, this city needs this. Jim, as Tanner mentioned, I met you about 2 years ago, and I was so impressed, not with what you've done, but with you. And Scott, as equally impressed with what you guys have done together. So thank you, as Tanner said, for having the confidence in us that we could get to this day. And I know it means a lot to both of you. I think it's going to mean a lot to Prescott, and I hope it's not the last that it means to Prescott. So Jim drove up today with Scott, and I was already jacked up, right? I wanted to speak first, and they drove up right there. And Tanner's talking to Jim and Scott, and they've got smiles on their face, and I got goosebumps. And I took a picture, and I haven't had goosebumps forever, and you know what those feel like. So today is such a special day for all of us, one that took a lot of perseverance to get here, but here we are, as Tanner said. And thank you for your words and your friendship, and I'll get to a little bit of this. It's going to take about 3 more minutes, so just bear with me. But Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Without sustained enthusiasm, nothing truly great ever happens." This group has that. The people in my life, he talked about success. It's those people in my life that are always jacked up. Todd Miller's one of them. Tanner, we've been together, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. But without that, none of this ever works, right? You give up. There's no give up in this group. So when the roofs are on, you'll go, yeah, I get that. But so I came to Phoenix. I actually came to Arizona about 10 years ago. And within 3 months, I bought a home here. I'm from the Midwest. Family's there. I've got 3 children. Christine and I married a year and a half ago. So now I have 6. I have the 5th grandchild's on the way. So my roots are deeply embedded in Ohio. My heart is in Phoenix. When I came here 10 years ago, I was down. I'd gone through some personal hardships, wasn't healthy, and people came around me in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, that I was seeking those people. I'd really never been in the West, but I was seeking a different way. And people came around me that I could have never guessed. An amazing church, people around the church, Tanner, truly a dozen, and I've honored them in my own world over the last 4 or 5 years that changed my life. So my heart is in Phoenix, in Arizona, and we can't wait to see what impact. Because at this point in my life, somebody mentioned legacy up here. That's what it's about. I stay really high based on what are we going to do? How are we going to impact this community? What's it going to look like when the doors open, the ribbon gets cut, the roof's on? Now what? So that's what we'll challenge our team. What now? Because it's not over then. For me, it just starts. How can we impact our tenants? How can we impact the city of Prescott? That's going to be the really cool part. And that's what we'll be measured on. That's what we want to be measured on. We know the economics of this project work. We heard from every one of you when you walked up. It all works. It's a no-brainer. But what isn't a no-brainer is what we do with it when we're done, when that ribbon's cut, and we think it's all done. That's when it matters to me. That's when it matters to Jerry. That's when it matters to Tanner and everybody in this front row. So that gets me jacked up. How will we impact those along the way? We're so excited that you came today. I've never been part of a ribbon cutting, groundbreaking, but I'm really looking forward to the ribbon cutting. Thank you for being here. Tanner, what's next? I know it's wine and
It's a picture.
it's a picture. We're going to grab a shovel, so please stay tuned. But thank you all for coming today. Thank you.
Okay, so how'd I do? 12:35. Not bad, huh? I think I was spot on when I said you're going to see a consistent theme of responsibility and caring, and it's going to prevail through this development. And Ron was mentioned earlier. He's our on-site superintendent, and he's going to ensure that the surrounding neighborhoods are only impacted positively by this development. And my team will be responsible for ensuring that all the right people live here, that enhance your businesses in this neighborhood. We take that responsibly. So I hope that you return to your circles, your friends, your business circles, and you're enthusiastic about this event, and you share with them, our plans to really create something special. We will launch a website today, so for anyone that is looking for additional information, they can go and learn more, and we'll start to capture their contact information, and we can start to communicate with them on the questions that they're all going to have. And coincidentally, I don't know if you are exactly in the spot, but you might be about 10 feet off from where the pool will be. So imagine right now, in a year, you're sitting at the pool, looking at this view. Tell a friend. Thank you. So as mentioned, we're just going to snap some photographs, but you're all welcome to start eating lunch. I know that Iron Horse Grill is ready to accommodate you. And once again, thank you for attending.
It's an extremely exciting day here, Winfield at the ranch. We're having our groundbreaking ceremony, as you can see behind me here, because this piece of property, if you'll follow me, is going to turn into one of the most gorgeous apartment communities in Arizona. Trust me, it's exciting. You're going to want to know a lot more about it. Go to winfieldranch.com.
We believe it's status quo to build a quality project, but what we really think that we can do and where we really think that we can excel is building a quality community. So we're very excited to be here. We can't wait to be neighbors. We look forward to being great neighbors and really enhancing the lives of our tenants, which we believe will go out and enhance the community. So thank you so much for having us.